Good shots. Okay. Okay, Jordan. Staring right at me.
Down that guy. Pushing you, lazy.
He's still here.
Best part is I downed him too before.
Hey, landing right here. Right above, basically, Jordan. If you want to come out here. Floating right there.
Where?
Pinged it. Well, you're coming back in 3 seconds at least.
Oh.
Oh, we're good, we're good.
Jordan.
Don't finish him, don't finish him. Oh, or that. Is on me.
Down one.
Door.
Yeah.
Hey, and behind. And there's more than one up there, man.
Go.
Let's call it was full team, full team, full team.
Kill 2, 1 floater, should be 1 up. You have 1 right. So far right. Now.
Pick him up.
Bye. Have a great time. Listen, man, if you've been on the channel long enough, you know that I love sniping. I loved it in Blackout, and I love it maybe even more so within Warzone. Just something about it is incredibly satisfying to hit those long distance or those quick snap shots. It's great. The last couple of months, though, I've taken a little bit of time away from sniping, just try to work on my overall game as a whole. Play a bit more aggressive, try and get those higher kill games more often, that kind of deal. But as the last week or so, I've had the itch to snipe again in Warzone, and I'd heard the Tundra was a solid choice, but I'd always been loyal to my love of the Kar 98K. But I gave it a shot, and I gotta say, man, if you haven't tried the Tundra already, make a class with it. Please, it is absolutely worthwhile. People will say it's nearly hit scan, and that's a bit of an oversimplification, but it's absolutely something you can understand why people will say that. Today, we're gonna be running down one of my new favorite builds within all of Warzone. So as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What's your favorite loadout within Warzone right now? As well, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. We're on that road to 400,000 subscribers, and we'll keep it the day with all things Warzone and anything COD related. So if you're interested in joining the community, I'd love to have you. And finally, I don't mean to inundate you guys with promos for my partners, but my friends over at Gamer Advantage actually bumped up code Espresso to 20% off until Sunday in celebration of St. Patrick's Day. So if you guys want to protect your eyes and save a little bit more money, check out the best blue light glasses on the market. Now's as good a time as any. But anyways, let's talk about this Tundra. So firstly, to start out with some basic weapon knowledge for the Tundra. The damage is something that of course is a big talking point, but that's 250 with headshots and that multiplier that goes along with it. It's the max for sniper damage plus tac and marksman rifles. The only thing that really beats it out is the Modern Warfare crossbow, which strangely has a 300 DPS with headshots, which seems a bit redundant since the max HP you can have in Warzone is 250, but alas, it's maxed. If you're hitting headshots with this, what you want to be doing, you're of course going to get rewarded with those downs. As for the ADS speed, this is something that when it comes to snipers is also something you really want to pay attention to. The interesting part about Cold War weapons and specifically the snipers is there's hidden benefits with a couple of the different sniper scopes, or not necessarily sniper scopes, but optics overall. Just like in Modern Warfare's attachments, there are a few weapons that have hidden stat modifying benefits for certain attachments, and believe it or not, all 3 of the 2x, 3x, and 4x optics on snipers actually decrease or rather speed up the ADS time at the base of the weapon. So it's faster than the stock build with the ADS by around 8%, which is a pretty big difference for something that doesn't mention it at all. That's on brand with some weapon attachments that actually do mention their changes. And what's even better yet is that these optics, your first instinct may be, well, I want to use a sniper, I want that higher magnification. And to a degree, you actually have a point there. But when you take a look at these, the 4x optic actually only has a 2 pixel difference in terms of the zoom level, so you essentially have the same zoom as the sniper scope, but with a faster ADS time than if you had a sniper scope equipped, and even better yet, no sniper glint. Personally, for me, I feel the 3x is better, but again, that's absolutely a matter of preference. But if you end up using the 2 to 4x, you end up getting that 8% improvement to the aim down sight time, no sniper glint, making it incredibly hard for your enemies to spot you, and potentially no difference in the zoom levels. But that's obviously great in terms of attachments, attributes, and some things you can build upon, but perhaps one of the biggest things with the Tundra is the bullet velocity, and that's where people will come out and say it's practically hit scan. Again, this is kind of an oversimplification of things, as it's definitely not hit scan. I know that a few months ago, immediately post integration for Cold War weapons, that was a huge talking point on different socials, and most times hit scan is just a buzzword that isn't properly used to describe the weapon itself. Hasn't really been for years, though the SPR when it was first released actually was hit scan. It was point, shoot, and register the shot all within the same frame, but that was bugged. But the bullet velocity of this weapon though is the best in class among snipers and tac rifles, with the previous king of the HDR being just outmatched by this. The bullet velocity of the HDR is 1,120 1,202 meters per second, while the max Tundra ends up being 1,145 meters per second. So at its maxed out levels, the Tundra does beat out the HDR. For comparison, the best Kar 98K bullet velocity is only 961 meters per second. So you take this bullet velocity and then match it up with the other run and gun playstyles that the Kar offers, and you have a sort of hybrid weapon that doesn't quite have that ADS speed that the Kar does, that still has it slightly, but you also end up getting that massive increase to the bullet velocity. So it's kind of your hybrid or intermediary sniping class, I'd say, with a bit more rounded nature as to either one of the other of a slower moving, faster bullet travel time of like an HDR true sniping class, and then the other sort of end of the spectrum where it's a faster moving, quick snap build of a Kar 98K. Kind of find yourself in the middle here with this build. So that's sort of the science behind it, or the method to the madness, but what's the build? For the Tundra, I'd highly recommend the wrap suppressor firstly, with the attachment once again matching the monolithic suppressor. It's a staple for all loadouts and all weapon builds, that wrap suppressor, GRU, and agency suppressors. But the wrap though helps with sound suppression, keeping you off that radar when you fire. The vertical recoil control it adds is definitely nice. It helps with the bullet velocity, helping us get that maxed out bullet velocity that we just mentioned for the weapon, as well as increasing the effective damage range. Now, this does claim to hurt the aim down sight speed, but it's a minimal difference and you're still going to be zooming with this thing. Next, I'd highly recommend the combat recon barrel. This helps that bullet velocity a little further, again, getting us to that max bullet velocity that we can end up having with the weapon. For once, this attachment is actually rather straightforward when it comes to what's described. A simple pro of bullet velocity increase and a slight decrease in the idle sway control as the con for the weapon, which again, you probably won't notice all that much in terms of difference, so it's a light penalty here for this. Completing the top level of attachments though in your create a class section will work with an optic. Again, that preference is all yours, but any of the optics of the 2x, 3x, or the 4x optics. The 4x, again, essentially giving you that same magnification that you'd end up getting from a regular traditional sniper scope, but to me, I like the 3x. It just feels a little bit more natural for me, but each of these optics, again, doing some great things in terms of speeding up the weapon and its ADS speed, but also giving off no optical glint, so you won't be given away in position as much as you'd think. You can keep that stealth approach going and pick people off left, right, and center. Next, we're going to be working with an underbarrel. For this, we're going to be running the bipod as it offers the best-in-class recoil control for a slight penalty in move speed. Again, it's minimal as is, but if you end up slide canceling or you have a different weapon as your secondary here with this, you'll barely notice the difference even further. And finally, we're going to use the 7-round mag for a few more shots to keep us in the fight a little longer, while also not sacrificing any penalty in the ADS time that you'd see in any of the higher level magazine adjustments past the fast mags. Everything from the 7-round speed mag and on actually ends up negatively affecting your ADS speed, which again, you work to preserve and better with this build, so you don't want to really take away from that. Now, that's the build here with this. I don't really find myself needing any stocks or any of the rear grips, with a lot of the rear grips actually still being bugged in terms of what they do and what they claim to do. So for me, this is absolutely a build that I would highly recommend. Now, would I recommend the Tundra with just a regular secondary of a pistol or something like that? Not quite. I'd of course end up running overkill with our normal loadout standards of EOD and amped as well, with a secondary that I've been running. You probably saw it in the intro clips or some of the gameplay footage already in the video. I usually run this with an FFAR. That's kind of my go-to, since integration is an FFAR and a sniper of some kind here for this. If I'm playing a long-range game, it gives me the close to medium range covered with the FFAR and that fast TTK that it affords, and if you can manage that recoil pattern, it's absolutely something that will shred through enemies. But then of course you end up getting that secondary weapon of a sniper that gives you that long-range engagement, so you have everything covered with it. We come back to this FFAR build all the time, so we'll breeze past it really, but I end up using the agency suppressor, again, giving you all the benefits that you'd have normally with, say, the monolithic suppressor, the Ranger barrel, the Raider stock for that extra added move speed, the SFOD speed grip, and the 50-round mag. So this is something that absolutely will allow you to shred through your enemies up close, and again, even at medium range, but also have yourself covered with a lot of ability that the Tundra affords. To me, this has been one of my go-tos as of, again, this past week or so, and I've just been having an absolute blast with it. So if you end up sniping at all, I'd highly recommend checking this out and giving it a go. I definitely think you can do well with it. But that is what we end up running here on the Tundra. That is the support I also run with it as a secondary, and I've been shredding with it. I definitely think you can as well. So that's where we're gonna wrap it up. But before we do end today's video though, I do at least want to give a last second shout out to my friends at Gamer Advantage. As mentioned in the intro, I definitely don't like to inundate you guys with with ads and such, but I've said it before, I believe in these guys and their glasses big time. Plus, for a St. Patrick's Day sale, there's a site-wide 10% discount that stacks with code Espresso to give you a full-on 20% discount on any orders you make, big or small. So if you guys want to protect your eyes with the best blue light glasses on the market, this is absolutely the best time to do so. Links in the description below if you guys want to at least learn more, or if you guys want to make any orders. But that's where we're going to wrap it up. So I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. Have you guys tried out the Tundra at all? And if so, how do you guys like it? If you haven't already, try it out and let me know how you feel about it down in the comments. But as well, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below. If you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so I'm a single thing regarding all things Warzone and anything COD related. We'll keep you up to date with all of it. So if you're interested in joining the community, I'd love to have you. If you also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practice on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, links are in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.